Hello and welcome to this special edition of the Poke Report. I'm Matt McGann alongside our own NFL insider, Max Gross. How's it going, Max?
Good to be here, Matt.
So we're here to talk about some NFL draft. The only player from OSU that was taken in the 2016 NFL draft was Emmanuel Ogbah. Were you surprised to see him taken so early in the second round?
No, I wasn't really surprised. It's actually interesting. The Dallas Cowboys almost traded up with the Cleveland Browns to get that pick and select Ogbah. Remember, the Cowboys are absolutely littered with Oklahoma State players. Would have been fun to see Ogbah there, but ultimately the Cleveland Browns kept their pick and selected Ogbah at number 32 overall.
So is he finally the player to turn Cleveland around?
Well, I don't know if just one player can do it, but I mean, this team is definitely headed in the right direction. Hugh Jackson is a good head coach, good NFL background there. And they have some smart front office people that they brought in. Paul DePodesta, formerly of the Oakland Athletics from their Moneyball days in the early 2000s, really brought analytics to the forefront in Major League Baseball, trying to do the same thing now in the NFL. The Browns use those analytics to base their draft on a lot of college production, guys that put up big numbers. Like Ogbah had 13 sacks last season. Their first-round draft pick, Corey Coleman, led the nation in both receiving yards and receiving touchdowns last year.
So that's a lot of productions for, their first two picks. Where is Ogbah going to fit in that Cleveland Brown defense?
Well, this defense has a lot of good pieces already. You look at Joe Hayden, who's an all-pro level cornerback. And they also have last year's first-round pick, defensive tackle Danny Shelton, who is a force in the middle of that defense. Now, the Browns play a 3-4 scheme, so Ogbah will be playing a stand-up outside linebacker as opposed to the 4-3 defensive end he was at Oklahoma State. He was in a three-point stance with his hand on the ground on every single snap with the Cowboys last year and throughout his career, but he will be standing up, being able to rush the passer a lot quicker here with the Cleveland Browns in the NFL.
So as mentioned earlier, Ogbah was the only former OSU player to be drafted in the 2016 NFL draft. However, there were some that were drafted as that were signed on as free agents. Talk a little bit about that. Who's going to make an impact there?
Well, Kevin Peterson with the Chicago Bears is someone who really stands out to me. The Bears are a team that really lack depth on defense, and adding a guy like Peterson who could play a nickelback or a dimeback right away really makes a lot of sense. He's got an NFL body, very athletic. I think he'll make the roster. There's also Jimmy Bean, a guy who didn't get signed. That's why he stands out. Had some health concerns with the knee injury that took him out for most of the season last year. I think he's a very productive guy. Could have been a day 2 or day 3 draft pick if he was healthy. Whenever that knee returns to full form, I think an NFL team is going to get a bona fide pass rusher.
And you can never get enough pass rushers in the NFL. Thank you, Max, for joining us today.
It's been a pleasure.
That'll do it for this special edition of the Poke Report. We'll see you next time.